एक बार आके देख लो, कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
फ्रेंड्स कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Nice! 10.
Yeah, nice pen. Nice pen.
Barker. It shows.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
लग ही नहीं रहा अपनी शादी हो गई
है ना?
यार
मैं देता हूँ।
अरे
मैंने वैसे भी वचन दिया है, तुम्हारी सारी खुशियाँ शेयर करूंगा। थैंक यू। वेलकम। ये क्यों?
मैंने भी तो वचन दिया है, तुम्हारे सारे गम शेयर करूंगी।
कम?
मेरे खर्चे।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
We manage and uncharted peaks will be scaled. Just a brief overview of what you can expect to see at BusinessLine Cerebration 2022. We are in our 19th season of this quiz, and this year's edition ventures into new seas as we navigate a hybrid format. The prelims and regionals take place online, and the finals take place in Mumbai. Steering you through this voyage is me, your quizmaster, Ajay Punya. A quick recap of the season. For 10 days last month, the preliminary round took place online, where over 6,000 corporate executives, business professionals, B-school students, and MBA aspirants participated from across India. The top 6 performers from each of the 6 regions were then invited for the online regional final. And from the regional final, the winner packs their bags for Mumbai for the national final. This today is the penultimate one of those 6 regions, and these regional finalists are going to be fighting for a strong chance to win the most coveted intellectual title and to win prizes worth rupees 1.5 lakhs. The national champion takes rupees 75,000. First runner-up gets rupees 50,000 and second runner-up wins rupees 25,000. That's quite a hefty winnings to battle it out for. And today we are playing with a city with rich history, tradition, and culture. A city where I spent a significant time of my own life is Delhi. And now time for the starting lineup from Delhi. For a few of them, it's their debut at Cerebration, but when it comes to quizzing, definitely not their first rodeo. As participant 1 is Sumesh Nair from Bharat Petroleum. Following him as participant number 2 is Ravi Handa from Unacademy. Then as participant 3 is Anand Raj from Sail Bokaro. Following him is Jyotish Kalita from Government of Assam. Following him is title defender from Delhi, although the national final last year was a forgettable experience for him, is Ayush Avasti from EY. And finally, completing the lineup is the runner-up at Delhi last year, back in the mix for some scores to settle. From Barclays is Rohan Khanna. So yes, lots of familiarity, lots of mutual respect, backhanded appreciation of the threat each poses the other. Delhi always deliciously uneasy. It's a fixture with no plot, no script, and so on a clean slate, they will write their own tryst with destiny. But before this glorious battle commences, let's hear from Mr. Raghuveer Srinivasan, editor, BusinessLine, who'd like to address all of you. Sir, please.
Hello, everyone. BusinessLine is back with the 19th edition of Cerebration Quiz, one of India's biggest corporate quiz championships. After the overwhelming response we got last year, this year has been even better. And we got excellent entries across our major cities. BusinessLine, as you know, is India's leading financial newspaper. It's known for its depth and its intellectual sharpness, which is reflected in the Cerebration Quiz. The Cerebration Quiz is open to business professionals, corporate executives, MBA aspirants, and students from India's top-notch B schools. The prelims received an overwhelming response of more than 6,000 participants taking the quiz, and out of which 6 individuals from each city of Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kochi, Mumbai, and New Delhi will now battle it out to qualify for the grand finale. The top 6 contestants from each city will compete in the virtual regional finals from July 31 to August 15th. Winners of the regional finals from 6 cities will battle it out for the coveted title at a in-person, on-ground event in Mumbai. The winners will take home handsome prize money worth up to 1.5 lakhs. And apart from, of course, the recognition of being Cerebration winners of the BusinessLine quiz. I wish you all the very best and look forward to seeing the participants in the rounds that happens in the cities. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. At BusinessLine Cerebration 2022, we highly obliged towards our partners, the title sponsor, Union Bank of India. It's powered by Manage Engine. Writing instruments partner, Parker Pen by Luxor Group, and associate sponsor, Gray On. Thank you to each one of you. And now I would request Ms. Beena Wahid, Field General Manager, Union Bank of India, Delhi, to take the stage and address our participants.
Good evening. I can feel the energy of buzzing minds, even through the virtual space. You all have been playing exceedingly well, celebrating your way ahead. I consider myself fortunate to get a chance to address the young, creative, quizzing minds of India. You are the future of this country, the shoulders which will carry the country to new heights. It may sound cliched, but does not change the ultimate truth that it is. I have no qualms in admitting that the youngsters here today are more smart, more aware, and more balanced in their thinking, an approach than many of us were. That is why I urge you all not to be afraid in accepting new challenges, exploring your hidden strengths, and most importantly, in following your passion. Do not overthink about failures and success, because the new bottom line in any venture is the impact it has on the community and world around it. Success is no longer measured in terms of the money that you make or the post you hold, I must say. The new definition of success is moving towards a better understanding of what is important in life. The ways of learning, doing business, and even socializing have completely changed and are still changing. Every day we find faster, more economical, and ecological way of doing things. We have also learned that being self-reliant is as important as being global is. In the 75th year of Indian independence, when all of us are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it's now time to create a mark on the world map by emerging as a self-reliant superpower. I must say that we have already arrived there. It is now time to think beyond heading international brands and develop brand India. In this regard, I must congratulate Hindu Business Line for being way ahead in creating and developing the brand. And Union Bank of India, one of the premier nationalized banks in the country, has always partnered with such organizations who have carried forward this work. In your hands lies the hope of a new generation of leaders and entrepreneurs. On behalf of Union Bank of India, I assure you that in your quest to take the country to greater heights, we will be there with you every step of the way. All the best, and keep in mind that no success is final and no failure is fatal. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Right then, participants, it is all about taking small steps of stacking points so that at the end, you've taken one giant leap towards the national champion title. You'll have to play the situation as well as the opposition. Play well round one. It's called serious or joking. I will be giving you 5 statements on the buzzer. You have 10 seconds of time to press the buzzer only if you think I'm joking with the given statement. If, however, you think the statement is serious, please do not buzz. The first 3 buzzers, if at all, some of you think that the given statement is a joke. If you've pressed the buzzer, then in the order of you pressing the buzzer, I'll ask you, the first 3 of you, to give me a reason as to why you thought it was a joke. Now, points, if you give me a right answer, I'll give you 10 minus n, where n is the number of participants giving me correct answers. If 2 of you give me right answers, I'll give both of you 8. If 5 of you give me right answers, I'll give all 5 of you 5. But if everybody or nobody gives me the right answer, then I'm not really rewarding points. In this round, there are no negatives, but beyond the points that I've already mentioned, if you give me a correct reason in case where the statement is a joke and I didn't hit the buzzer, you tell me what your reason is, correct the statement, and I will give you a bonus 5 on top of the points that you've already scored. Well, that's about it. Good luck, everyone. 5 statements all on the buzzer. I would request you to please sit upright, your phones to be visible on screen. Do not hide your faces behind the phones. Keep them on one side. Let's start. First statement, only, I repeat, only hit the buzzer if you think that the given statement is a joke. All right, here's my first statement. Good luck, everyone. Back in the 90s, the co-founder and chairman of the Internet Users Club of India was Shammi Kapoor, the actor. He owned a Macintosh and created an internet archive with the Kapoor family tree on the website yahoo.org.in. You don't have to strain your eyes about the text written in the picture. It's not really relevant to the part that I've asked. But your time's up. We have 1, 5, 3, and 4 on the buzzer. So first on the buzzer is Sumesh. Sumesh, why did you press the buzzer?
I think the answer is not Shami Kapoor. I think it is Rishi Kapoor, not Shami Kapoor.
All right. That's not the reason. I will move on to Ayush.
So this is not Yahoo, but some other website.
Okay, no name. All right. Moving on to Anand.
Yeah, I will go with the Ayush. It was not on Yahoo, I think. Rest other informations are correct.
But you don't want to give me a correct one then. Both of you didn't give me a correct one. All right. I mean, that's what you thought. That's it. 3 attempts only on the buzzer. Let's take a look at what the answer to this question was. The answer to this question was indeed false. It wasn't yahoo.org.in. It was jungly.org.in. Right. So, but nevertheless, well done, all 4 of you. Sumesh, Anand, Jyotish, and Ayush. All 4 of you get 6 points apiece. That's very good. And this question was powered by Manage Engine. In fact, Shami Kapoor even called himself Macman, and he also claimed that he coded the website himself. Right, so he was one of the earlier members of the Internet Users Club of India back in the day when internet was something very new. So he created a family tree archive on the website itself called jungly.org.in. That's 6 points to 1, 3, 4, and 5. We will move on to our next statement. The lyrics of U2's Where the Streets Have No Name were originally penned on an Air India sick bag. Serious or joking? If joking, why? 3 seconds. Right, and the time is up. There is nobody on the buzzer. Everybody thought that this statement is serious. Let's take a look at the answer. That answer was indeed correct. So it was incidentally on an Air India sick bag where the streets have no name, the lyrics were originally penned. So well done, everyone. You can all pat yourselves on the back, but unfortunately, I will not be giving you points because it's a round about differential scoring and everybody was up to the task. Well done, everyone. No points, unfortunately. All right, we'll move on to our next one. Here's number 3. With their famous surnames removed, this duo is remembered for creating the eponymous Aston Martin. Serious or joking? Only hit the buzzer if you think it's a joke and wait another 3 seconds before I ask you for a reason. Right, time's up. So we have everybody pressing the buzzer, all right, but it's Anand who's gone first on the buzzer. Anand?
Yeah, I think they are the founders of Rolls-Royce.
And not Aston Martin. That is indeed correct. That's well done. Good answer there, Anand. Since everybody hit the buzzer, means nobody gets points. Just Anand getting a 5. Right, so well done, Anand. Correct reason. Well done on hitting the buzzer the first time around. Aston Martin was actually founded by Bob Bradford and Lionel Martin. Martin was actually somebody who raced at the Aston Hill. And so that's where the name Aston and Martin comes from. But this was Charles Rolls and Henry Royce. And so it was Rolls-Royce. Good answer, Anand. Gets you 5 points. We'll move on to our next one. Remembered as the father of Russian vodka, this brand from Zernov has been named after the noted Nobel laureate Ivan Pavlov. Hit the buzzer only if you think it's a joke, and then I'll ask you to unmute and then you can give me a reason. Right, time's up. Yet again, everybody's hit the buzzer. This time, yet again, it's Anand who's gone for it first. Yes, Anand.
Yeah, it's named after Mendeleev.
It's named after Mendeleev and not Ivan Pavlov. Is correct. That's well done. Good answer there, Anand. Well done. It is named after Mendeleev. Mendeleev vodka is produced to, in fact, why he's called as the father of Russian vodka is because this vodka is produced to the exact standards that Dmitry Mendeleev of the Mendeleev periodic table he identified as the perfect vodka formula, and each bottle actually maintains the mixture of water to alcohol at whatever precise measurement that Mendeleev had proposed. Good answer there, Anand. That's another 5-pointer for you. Well done, to back-to-back 5-pointers. Nobody else securing anything. You can certainly pat yourselves on the back for that one as well. As we move on to our final statement for this round. Vroom is a Gurgaon-based startup that turned unicorn in July 2021. It calls itself India's most trusted motor place. Only hit the buzzer if you think it's a joke. Then when I ask you, you tell me your reason. Otherwise, don't press the buzzer. The time's up. This time it's 2, 5, 4, and 6 in that order. So I'll ask Ravi. Ravi, why did you press the buzzer?
The spelling is wrong. It should be D for Delhi instead of V for Vellore.
So it's D for Delhi. So what is the name that I should represent? Vroom and not
Vroom.
Okay. Vroom and not Vroom. All right, that was your reason. Let's take a look at the answer. The answer is indeed correct. That's well done. Good answer there, Ravi. So Vroom actually is also another automotive related organization, but that's based out of New York City. The one that's based in Gurgaon is called Vroom. Right. Well done there, Ravi. Very well identified. 4 of you giving me right answers. That's Ravi, Jyotish, Ayush, and Rohan. All 4 of you getting 6 points each. But Ravi, on top of that, you get a bonus 5. So that's 11 for you. Well done. Well, they started with a pedestrian pace, but cranked it up as nerves settled in. For some of them, the bright start may give them an argument on the scoreboard, but did they land enough jabs to leverage on that advantage? We will see on the other side of this short break. Stay with us.
एक बार आके देख लो, कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
फ्रेंड्स कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Nice. 10.
Yeah, nice pen. Nice pen.
Barker. It shows.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back to the Delhi Regional Final of BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2022. We're through with round 1, and at this point, we'll take a look at the scoreboard. It's a very close bunch out there, just a matter of 5 points separating 4 of our participants. But still have a long way to go at this point. However, it's Anand Raj from Sale Bokaro who's leading with a score of 16. Then we have in joint second place, are Jyotish Kalita from the government of Assam and Ayush Avasti from EY, both of them at 12, just 1 point behind is Ravi Handa from an academy at 11. Then in joint 5th place are Sumesh and Rohan, both of them at 6 points apiece, which means we will be pairing them up for the next round, and that's called paired impaired. Each participant in this round gets a question for 15 seconds. I will be pairing you up on the basis of scores, which means Anand and Jyotish will be paired with each other. Ayush and Ravi will be paired with each other, and Sumesh and Rohan will be paired with each other. Now, the direct participant, so when I create pairs out of you, both of you should unmute yourselves, keep your phones aside because you're not supposed to hit the buzzer. One of you is the direct participant, so I'll ask you a question. You give me your answer. I don't declare whether that's correct or incorrect immediately. I pass it to the paired participant who has to accept or reject the answer or can pass. Both the direct and the paired participants have options of passing, because if you give me a wrong answer, there's a negative. If the answer given by the direct participant was correct, they get 10. And if the paired participant accepts it, they get 5. If, however, the answer is incorrect and it is accepted by the paired participant, both of you get a -5 and the question passes on the buzzer, 2 buzzers permitted, to the remaining, amongst the remaining 4 participants for +5 and -5. If, however, the answer that was given by the direct participant was correct, but was rejected by the paired participant, there's a +10 to the direct participant, -5 to the paired participant. But if the answer was incorrect and is rejected by the paired participant, there's a -5 to the direct participant, then the paired participant can give me a correct answer for +10 and -5. If you can't give me a right answer, then I'm guessing there will be others waiting to grab that opportunity on the buzzer. Well, that's about it. Remember, only the direct and the paired participant have an option of passing. The participant on the buzzer does not have that option, right? So don't hit the buzzer if you're uncertain of the answer, because there's a negative attached. So which is why the direct and the paired participant have a option of passing. So I will start and I will begin with Anand, who's paired alongside Jyotish. So I request the both of you to please unmute yourselves. All right, Anand, if you are ready. Now, here's another thing. If you're absolutely confident, this is just a trick that I'm suggesting. If you're absolutely confident of the answer, you might as well, act as if you had no clue, because you also don't want to help your paired participant in securing those 5 points. Or if you're not sure of the answer, if you want to take down everyone alongside, then you can, with absolute certainty and confidence, give me a wrong answer so that the paired participant is misled into believing that that may be correct. He's so confident. And both of you will get a negative. But, don't take all the ideas that I suggest. It's up to you. All right, here's my question. Others on the buzzer, Anand and then Jyotish in that order. Anand, your question. Noble Textile, one of the largest textile manufacturing units in Assam, deals with school uniforms and is the only company in the Northeast to stitch knitted yarn. Since a major announcement a few days ago, they have been working tirelessly to provide 80 lakh units of a certain product, which are available for 18 rupees each. What are they making?
Yeah.
Yes, Anand, your answer, if any.
Yeah, I think this is that Assamese Gamcha.
All right, he says Assamese Gamcha. Jyotish, accept, reject, pass.
I think this is the national flag.
Hold on. First, accept, reject.
I reject it.
Reject. Now, are you giving me an answer of your own for +10,
yes.
-5, if that is incorrect?
I think it's the national flag.
And so what would be the announcement?
For the Har Ghar Tiranga program, I don't know.
For the?
Har Ghar Tiranga program for the 70.
All right, let's take a look at the answer. That is indeed correct. It is the Indian flags for Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. That's well done, Jyotish, on rejecting it, and even better done by giving me the right answer. That's 10 points to you and a -5 to our leader after the end of round 1. Anand, that's a -5 for you. But Jyotish, very well done. That gets you a 10. Now, Jyotish, you're the direct participant, and Anand, you're paired with him. So both of you please unmute. And my question for you, Jyotish, is In 2010, in the bi-monthly journal of the Kelly School of Business of Indiana University, authors Kaplan and Heinlein wrote, "Users of the world unite, the challenges and opportunities of XY toward answer." In the article, they tried to define XY, a top agenda of many business executives of the time, and how it differs from related concepts such as Web 2.0 and user-generated content. Now, omnipresent, please give me XY. You don't have to give me an answer if you're uncertain. 3 seconds, Jyotish.
Is this social media?
Okay. Anand, he says, is this social media? Accept, reject, pass. Anand?
I shall pass.
You will pass. And there's nobody on the buzzer. The answer that I was looking for is indeed social media. That's very well done there, Jyotish. Good answer. Gets you a +10. Very good. So this is perhaps, this is in the early days when a lot of businesses were figuring out how to leverage social media for their own interests. So this is what they wrote: users of the world unite, the challenges and opportunities of social media. Now, like I said, now omnipresent. Nobody else was really interested on the buzzer either. So Jyotish, perhaps you're the only one who knew this. That's well done. That's 10 points to you. Very good. Now we move on to our next pair. That is Ayush and Ravi, in that order. Your hands to be visible, please. Ayush, here is my question for you. Others on the buzzer except Ravi. Ravi, you'll have to listen to his answer and then decide what you want. Here's my question. While retailers operated such practices for over 150 years, Amazon first ventured into it only in 2009. As per Amazon, it generates only about 1% of its total sales, which is significantly lesser than other retailers like JCPenney, Target, and Walmart. However, Amazon is at the forefront of antitrust investigations and severe criticism, including a scathing episode by John Oliver's Last Week Tonight a couple of months ago. What practice is this? They claim it's only about 1% of their sales. Other retailers have 70, 30, and 15% of the sales. What practice? Ayush, do you have an answer?
Pass.
Passing. Ravi, do you have an answer of your own? +10, -5?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Should I go ahead?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So this is essentially the in-house brands that they launch. So suppose a bag. So this is from the John Oliver episode. They had a disposable. They had a bag which they copied exactly from a brand and they manufactured it on their own. They just put their in-house brand label on it.
All right, that's his answer. The answer that I was looking for is indeed correct. So private labels, or they were also called, when some of the earlier retailers launched it, they called it chain store private brands. But otherwise, it's generally called as private labels. That's well done there, Ravi. Good answer. Gets you a +10. Absolutely. So some of these brands like Amazon Basics, etc., all of them, there are over hundreds of these private labels within Amazon. They only contribute, as per Amazon's claim, they only contribute 1% of their total sales. And so they feel that they are being made a scapegoat about, them leveraging the back-end data of how people are, what kind of products are people interested in. So they produce more of that. They produce replica of the kind of products from other sellers on their platform and so on and so forth. I'm sure you're familiar with that story. So that is indeed correct. That's well done, Ravi. That's a 10 for you. Very good. Now, Ravi, there's a direct question for you and Ayush. Listen to his answer and decide accordingly. Here's my question. Others on the buzzer. Which cosmetic that traces its roots to Arabic for a fool has undergone a series of innovations since it was first invented in the 19th century by this French-born London-based businessman using petroleum jelly? In the 1920s, it evolved to take the form of a cake with a brush, and in the 1950s, it was available as a cream with its applicator being a spiral brush followed by a molded brush. Ravi? Which cosmetic? 5 seconds. You don't have one. You will?
Lip gloss.
lip gloss. Ayush, accept, reject, pass.
Pass.
Too much time. All right. Ravi, I'm afraid that is incorrect. So that's a -5. Question passes on the buzzer to Rohan.
Mascara.
Mascara. How does Arabic for a fool become mascara, Rohan?
I've read this before. I mean, mascara comes from some masquerade or something. It is the Arabic for fool, and that's how it is applied with a brush.
Have you heard of this term called mascara? Somebody who does masti and other things. That's right. That is indeed mascara. That's well done there, Rohan. Gets you a +5 on the buzzer. Very good answer. And the gentleman in question was Rohan. You know his name?
Don't remember.
Okay, that's all right. That wasn't part of the one answer needed for points. That was Eugene Rimmel, and he was the one who created the mascara. And this question was brought to you by our associate sponsors, Crayon. Well done there, Rohan. 5 points to you. Ravi, that's a -5 for you. Next up, I think we're done with the second pair. Yes, we are. We'll move on to the final pair. That is Sumesh and Rohan. Sumesh and Rohan, if you can both unmute. Okay, Sumesh, here is my question for you. Independently, inventors across the world were working on the ball and socket technology, but it was this American banker in the picture who was the first to receive a patent for it in the 1880s. But he couldn't commercialize it and his patent lapsed. It took half a century around the peak of the Second World War for his idea to be brought to fruition by two Hungarian brothers, a journalist and a chemist. In many non-English speaking countries, their surname is now a generic name for the invention. What invention? Using ball and socket technology, originally by an American banker. 5 seconds, Sumesh.
I'll pass.
You'll pass. Rohan, do you have an answer? +10, -5.
Yeah, I will take a shot. I think this is the ballpoint pen.
And who are the brothers?
The Biro brothers, right? The Biro pen is like the ballpoint pen.
And who's this American banker?
Maybe Reynolds or something. I'm not sure.
All right, you got 2 out of 3 correct. But all that I was looking for is a ballpoint pen by Biro brothers. Absolutely. Laszlo and George Biro. Those were the 2 Biro brothers. And the American banker in question who created the first one with the ball and socket technology and then, didn't really patent it and the patent lapsed. And 50 years later, we had the Biro brothers from Hungary creating the ballpoint pen and patenting it, all of that in Argentina. That American banker is John Loud. Well, that question was brought to you by our writing instruments partner, Parker Pen, by Luxor Group, and they'll be mighty pleased to see this question being answered. That's 10 points there to Rohan. Very well done, and that will be followed by a direct question for you. Sumesh, you are paired with him, so you listen to his answer and then decide accordingly. Your hands to be visible on screen, please. Others on the buzzer. Now the world's largest producer of a certain product, the company was originally started as a plastic molding unit for the burgeoning textile industry in Gujarat to carry cotton slivers. But the company failed to market them and then experimented with several other end products, all of which failed except one. So from a 0.3 million turnover, by 2013, it was clocking rupees 5,000 million. Its name is a portmanteau of the frittage process and the original end user industry it was marketed to. Which brand is this? Now the world's largest producer of a certain product. Rohan. You don't have to answer. 2 seconds, Rohan.
Can I take a shot?
Quick.
I'll say this is the Syntex plastic tanks.
Don't say too much. Don't. That's it. You've given me your answer. Sumesh, accept, reject, pass.
I'll pass.
You'll pass. All right. Let's go back to Rohan. Rohan, you can now explain your answer because there's nobody on the buzzer.
This is the Syntex, the water tanks that are used for storage of water, right? The Syntex
Okay. The question says its name is a portmanteau of the frittage process in the original end user industry.
So text comes from textile, right? And sin comes from the, I guess, the sintering or whatever process for this thing.
Is absolutely perfect. That's the answer that I was looking for. That's very well done there, Rohan. Don't bother me making you struggle there with the answers. But I didn't want you to say too much after you've given the answer, because that would have been a clue for Sumesh. So just give the answer and stop. But anyway, we're done with the round, so that's not needed anymore. So that's well done there, Rohan. It is indeed Syntex that makes these plastic tanks. Comes from sintering and textile. Sintering is another name that is used for frittage. So I hit that bit. I gave you the synonym for that. So sintering and frittage is the process. Basically means a process of compacting and forming a solid mass of material by heat or pressure without really melting it. All right, so that's well done. That brings us to the end of the second round as well. Was I expected to throw some curveballs? Yes, I was, but did I also expect them to be answered? Definitely. And I am expecting more of them as we go along. So we'll quickly move on to our next round. That's called Challengers B. In this round, there's one question to every participant. I will be giving you 10 seconds per question for others to challenge on the buzzer. I would request you to not answer in those 10 seconds. Please let somebody present a challenge, signal an intent that they'd like to give the answer. If there is somebody like that, as a direct participant, you can either decide to accept the challenge and give an answer yourself for +10, -5, or reject the challenge and let them answer. Sorry, did I reward the points in the last one? So that's 10 points to Rohan and nothing to Sumesh. Just wanted to make it clear. Okay. So 10 seconds for a direct participant to accept or reject the answer after the first 10 seconds where somebody's presented a challenge. If, however, there's no challenge, then it's fine. You can continue to give me the answer. The question remains open on the buzzer for the others in the following 10 seconds, right? But only for +5, -5. But on the challenge, the question is available for +10, -5. Should you get a chance to give the answer? If they reject the challenge, you can give me the answer as somebody on the challenge for +10, -5. But if they accept the challenge, then you wait for them to give a wrong answer. Only then does the question pass to you, again for +10, -5. Unlike the last round, there's no passing as an option available. I mean, you can choose to pass, it's totally up to you, but you might as well give me the answer because there's no negative for a wrong answer if there is nobody challenging. But if there is a challenge, then please don't attempt the question if you're not sure of the answer. Only attempt if you're sure of the answer. All right, so 10 for a direct, 10 for a challenge, but only on the buzzer, it's only for 5. And there's a flat -5 for a wrong answer, whether you accept the challenge or you're a challenger or you're on the buzzer. If the challenger gives me a wrong answer, question comes back to you for +5 and minus. +5 and no negatives. And then it goes to any other participant on the buzzer for +5 and minus. All right, so first question will be a direct for Sumesh. Sumesh, please unmute. And your hands visible on screen, please. Others on the buzzer. Remember, 10 seconds, Sumesh, don't answer, just think about it. And others, 10 seconds for you to signal an intent. Also, one more important thing, this is a multi-part, there are multiple answers to every question. Do not press the buzzer, do not accept the challenge unless you're confident of all parts of the question. Here's my question, Sumesh. First one for you. Written in 1989, his first book in the picture, this gentleman's first book, captures an important period in the history of Wall Street. Two important figures of the 1980s feature prominently in the text: the head of Salomon Brothers Mortgage Department and their CEO. Name him and the book. Those are your two parts. The book takes its name from a betting-based bar game that involves wagering on the serial numbers of currency notes. Name him and the book. You have a challenge coming from Anand. Sumesh, what do you want to do?
I'll accept the challenge. I'll let Anand answer it.
Which means if you let Anand answer it, means you reject the challenge.
I reject the challenge, sir.
Okay. Anand, what's your answer?
I think this is John Lewis and Moneyball.
John Lewis and Moneyball. I'm afraid that is incorrect. That's a -5. Question goes back to Sumesh. +5, no negative.
Oh, Not sure. I don't know the answer for this. I'll pass.
All right, not trying. So I'll move on to the next one on the buzzer, and that is Ravi for +5 and -5. Ravi, you're muted. Ravi, you're muted.
This is Michael Lewis.
Okay, and the name of the book
Moneyball.
is incorrect. That's a -5. Anybody wants to try non-comp? We know this is Michael Lewis, but what's the name of the book?
Was it Liar's Poker?
Is correct. Ravi, you should have gone for it. This was Liar's Poker. That's the bar game that I was looking for, where you really have to guess the serial numbers of the currency notes. That's what it was, not Moneyball. All right, that's a negative, unfortunately, Ravi. There's a negative -5 to both of you, Anand as well as Ravi, and nothing to Sumesh. But next question, Ravi, here's a chance for you to get back those points. This is for you, others on the buzzer. Here is my question. In 2016, the World Economic Forum sought to distance a certain city in particular and the country in general from how it was portrayed in a Netflix series. Some of the arguments the WEF presented were, one, that the city is a green oasis. It was the first city to use cable cars as a public transport system, had giant escalators to help foot traffic navigate the hilly terrain. The economy is diversified into tourism, and it became the region's Silicon Valley as opposed to what was portrayed in the series. Which city, which series? Just hold on, Ravi, don't answer right now. Waiting 3 seconds for a challenge. Which city and which series? So there's no challenge, Ravi. Now you can give me an answer without the fear of negatives. 10 and no negatives.
Okay, so the series would be, so the city would be Davos.
Okay. And the series? That's too much time.
I have no idea. I'm going to go with Succession as a TV series.
All right. No, that is incorrect.
It is HBO.
You're incorrect on both counts. Does anybody else want to take it? Not for points. Guess either of the answers. No, establish some fear in the minds of others that at least I know something. No. All right. The answer is, and you'll really regret, I believe, on missing this. The answer is Medellin from Colombia and Narcos, the TV series. So essentially, just going back to the question once, it says that the city is now a green oasis. The economy is diversified into other things and beyond just what was portrayed in the series Narcos, and it's said to be the Silicon Valley of Colombia, right? So those were some of the points that they wanted to highlight. Unfortunately, nobody went for it. No points given, no points taken. We will move on to our next question. That's number 3, and that's going to go to Anand. Okay, Anand, you've collected quite a few negatives already. Hopefully things will change from here on. Others on the buzzer? January 1st January every year is called Public Domain Day, where historic creative works previously protected by copyright can be freely adapted and used by the public. In the US, the Copyright Act used to provide 50 years of protection, but in the 1970s, thanks in part to the lobbying of a certain enterprise, it was increased to 75 years. Then again in the 90s, they lobbied Congress, which passed the Copyright Term Extension Act for 95 years. Which enterprise and thus with which character is this act better known? Hold on, Anand. There is a, hold on, don't answer right now. There is a challenge coming from Ayush.
I shall answer.
You want to answer, so you're accepting the challenge. Go ahead, Anand, +10 minus.
Yeah, I think Disney and Mickey Mouse.
Disney and Mickey Mouse is absolutely perfect. That is indeed correct. So this is the Disney as the corporation in question, and it's the Mickey Mouse Protection Act. The Steamboat Willie, the first Mickey Mouse appearance came in 1928, 29, around that time. So which means with 95 years of the Copyright Extension Act, you can perhaps expect Disney to start lobbying again if they haven't already started, because 95 years should end next year or the year after. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that's the answer. So it's the Mickey Mouse Protection Act and Disney. That's well done, Anand. My pep talk worked. Okay. Here's my next one. That's for Jyotish. Jyotish, if you can unmute. Here's my question. Founded in 2016, which apparel brand is this that gets its name from the Latinized version of the name of a giant star, the biggest in its constellation? In 2020, it made its debut in a sporting event, replacing another brand, which was the Italian translation of the parent company. And also tell me the parent company. So first identify what this logo is of, and then tell me who's the parent company of this brand that had, okay, there's nobody on the challenge. So Jyotish, you can give me an answer without the fear of negatives. Question still open on the buzzer, +5, -5. Jyotish, your answer, no negatives. Your time is up, Jyotish. There's no answer coming. Does anybody want to take a shot? No negatives, no? Anybody? Yeah, Sumesh, you hit the buzzer, but it's not on the buzzer.
Yeah,
so.
it's Taurus, and the brand which it replaced what, Red Bull?
And that's one. And what is the other brand? Now you have it.
It was something related to Taurus and Red Bull. That's what I recollect.
Yeah, so in a sporting event, so what would that sporting event be?
That is bullfighting.
No.
Hey, sorry.
Okay, let me just close it. This is Alpha Tauri, the largest star in the Taurus constellation. And so we had Scuderia Toro Rosso. That was the team, that was one of the teams in Formula One that was replaced, and Toro Rosso became Alpha Tauri, and both are from the house of Red Bull. So that was the answer that I was looking for. No points to anyone. The question, it seems. We'll move on to the next one. That's to Ayush. Ayush, if you can unmute. Sporting event being Formula One then. All right, here's my question, Ayush. Popularly cited as an invention of the Second World War, what economic measurement has its origins in 1660s Britain, when the then monarch wanted to assess the country's resources to be able to fund wars? That's one part. The second part, the idea became mainstream when this gentleman in picture published an 80-page pamphlet, How to Pay for War, lamenting the lack of statistics during the Second World War, and which is why invention of Second World War. The British Treasury took note and released one soon after. Who published the pamphlet? Just identify the person who you see here. And tell me, what economic measurement is this? Now you have a challenge coming from Anand Raj. Ayush, what do you want to do?
I'll answer myself.
Your answer for +10 -5 is?
I'll say GDP for the economic measurement, and Keynes for the publisher.
So your answer is GDP and Keynes. Let's take a look at the answer. The answer is indeed correct. That's the answer. That's very well done. It is indeed GDP. So the origin or the invention is said to be the Second World War. I gave you that bit of story related to Keynes, and you know, originally there was something similar that happened in 1660s Britain, where they wanted to measure the economic output of the kingdom, so that they could accordingly decide how can we fund wars, right? So the measurement of GDP is said to be an invention of the Second World War. That question was brought to you by a title sponsor, Union Bank of India, who'd be really delighted to see Ayush giving that answer. That's a +10 to you, Ayush. Anand, did you have that answer? Yeah, you did? Okay. All right. We'll move on to our final one. That's Rohan. Rohan, if you can unmute and hands visible on screen, please. Here's my question. In 2018, Brookings published a paper trying to understand the lessons in natural resource management by a country that lives in autarky and invests heavily in technology. They likened the country to Norway and Botswana, both of which are resource rich but do not suffer from the resource curse, and put a generous portion aside in sovereign wealth funds as a social safety net. Which country and what resource are they designed to be rich in? There is a challenge coming by Jyotish. Rohan, take a decision. Which country, what resource are they designed to be rich in?
I'll let him answer.
All right, Jyotish, please answer.
I think this is Wakanda and vibranium.
Wakanda and vibranium is absolutely correct. That's the answer. Lessons from Marvel's Black Panther, natural resource management and increased openness in Africa, which is why I said designed to be rich in, right? Very well done, Jyotish. Wonderful challenge there, gets you a +10. Very good. Right, that right there was the end of the penultimate round. It seems like a few participants have been at each other's throats. It's just how one expected Delhi to be. We'll see what the scoreboard looks like going into the final round, but that's after the break. We'll be back shortly.
एक बार आके देख लो, कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
फ्रेंड्स कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Nice. 10.
Yeah, nice pen. Nice pen.
Barker. It shows.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back to the Delhi final of BusinessLine Cerebration 2022. At this point, we're taking a look at the scoreboard heading into the final round. And sixth place from BPCL is Sumesh with a score of 6. Then in fifth spot, we have Ravi Handa from An Academy at 11. Then in fourth place is our leader was the leader after we checked scores after round 1. He's fallen behind. He's currently fourth. Quite a few negatives there is Anand Raj from Sale Bokaro at 16. And then some surprise there. The Delhi defending champion trails on a territory he's conquered before. He is currently third with a score of 22 is Ayush Avasti. And then in second place is runner-up last year at Delhi, Rohan Khanna at 31. And our leader at this point coming from the government of Assam is Jyotish Kalita with a score of 42. So with some distance behind from each other are all these participants, fairly evenly spread out field, but all that can change in our final round now. It's called Shootout. There are only 6 questions that are available for you. All of them will be on the buzzer. There's no direct questions anymore. 10 seconds of time per question, and I will not be showing you the text on screen of the question. I will, however, be showing you operative part of the question. By operative part, I mean whether I'm looking for a company or a person or initiative, whatever it is, I will be showing that to you on screen and alongside an image, perhaps. If you know the answer just by looking at those two elements, feel free to hit the buzzer, but do not expect me to continue to give you the clues related to that question. You unmute yourself and I identify, you tell me the answer and I'll give you points. The first two questions are likely to be easy, so therefore 4 points each. The next two questions are medium difficulty level, so therefore 7 points each, and progressively we move on to harder questions. The final two are for +10 correct and -5 if incorrect. So negatives remain constant. 3 buzzers allowed per question. You have 10 seconds of time after I'm done reading the question, but I won't be reading the question if I have you hitting the buzzer while I'm still reading the question. One final thing, after the end of question 4, we will take a look at the scores. I'll just tell you where we are on the scoreboard, and if there's any participant who's beyond 30 points of the leader, I will have to eliminate you because mathematically it's impossible for you to finish first and subsequently qualify for the national final. But I will give you 4 questions as an opportunity to try to be within 30 points radius, and then subsequently we'll do this check one more time after the end of the 5th question, and we'll only play the final question with those participants who have a chance of winning this quiz. So good luck, everyone. 2 4-pointer questions coming up. Flat -5 across all 6 questions. Here's my first question. In the book Digital Wars, the author on the buzzer is Ayush from EY.
Googled.
And what's behind the black box? It says, have you blanked her yet? It's a blank.
It's a search engine.
All right. My question, in the book Digital Wars, the author claims that the first usage of a certain verb appeared in the final season of Buffy in 2002. What verb? Interestingly, the company associated with the verb wrote a blog post about using their name as a noun or a verb only in 2006. That is absolutely correct there, Ayush. Easy pickings, but it still had to be answered, and Ayush did that before others. That's well done. That's 4 points to you. Very good. 4 points there to Ayush. And this question was brought to you by our partner. This quiz is powered by Manage Engine. So as you can see, it says, have you Googled her yet? So this is perhaps the first time it appears in pop culture. And in 2006, they actually wrote a blog saying, do you Google? And they basically narrated how you can use Google as a noun or a verb and all. Well done, Ayush. 4 points to you. Another 4-pointer question coming up. What supply-side economics policy did the American economist J.K. Galbraith nickname the horse and sparrow theory? He described it as, if you feed the horse enough oats, some will pass through to the road for the sparrows. And so, which is why he called it the horse and sparrow theory. On the buzzer first is Ravi from an academy. Yes, Ravi.
Is it trickle down?
How does that make sense?
I have no idea.
Then why would you guess that?
It's trickling down from the body, from the mouth to the ass.
Is correct. That's well done. That's how it makes sense. So if you feed, I'll repeat the statement. If you feed the horse enough oats, some will pass through for the sparrows, right? So that's why he called it the horse and sparrow theory. That's very well done there. Good answer, Ravi. Gets you a +4 for that. And this question was brought to you by our title sponsor, Union Bank of India. And I think they would have really enjoyed the fact that you found a yard and fired it in the top corner on that one. Very good. That's 4 points to you, Ravi. Keeping the fight alive. We have 4 more questions coming, but next 2 will be for 7 points each. Here's the next one. Owned by a foundation created in the memory of the German founder's wife. On the buzzer is Ravi again. Yes, Ravi.
Tell
me the brand.
The brand.
Yes.
It's the Hans Wildorf Foundation, which I think is for Rolex.
Okay, my question. Owned by a foundation created in the memory of the German founder's wife, Which brand that is owned by a non-profit foundation since 1960, when the founder himself died, donates most of its profits to charitable causes in the environment, science, and arts? The name was created with the intention of keeping it short enough to fit on the product, and the last two letters sound the way they do in any language. The last two letters in question being EX, and so the brand in here being Rolex. That is absolutely correct. This was indeed Hans Willdorf, as identified there by Ravi. Very good answer. Keeping the chase alive, still coming back into giving himself a strong chance of eventually winning it. That's a 7-pointer this time, following a 4-pointer on the previous one. Good answer there, Ravi. 3 more questions to go, but after this question, like I said, I will be eliminating participants if at all you're not within 30 points radius of our leader after the end of 4th question. Here's question number 4. This British mathematician has been working with a consumer insights company called StarCount since 2014. In 2006, which phrase did he coin that was followed by "it's valuable, but if unrefined, it cannot really be used. It has to be changed into gas, plastic, chemicals, etc. to create a valuable entity that drives profitable activity"? On the buzzer is Jyotish. Yes, Jyotish.
This is the data is the new oil.
I'll complete. To create a valuable entity that drives profitable activity. So it has to be broken down, analyzed for it to have value. The 5-word phrase in question is data is the new oil. Absolutely well done there, Jyotish. Another answer piling up on your lead. That's 7 points for you. And this gentleman, Jyotish, can you identify? Who coined it?
Yes.
Yeah, who was he? The person?
His name is Clive something. I forgot his
Yeah, that is correct. He's Clive Humby, right? That's who he is, and he coined the phrase "data is the new oil." That's 7 points. Jyotish, we'll take a little pause here just to see where we are on the scoreboard. After the end of 4 questions. So at this point, we have 1 second. At this point, we have Sumesh, who's at 6, and Jyotish, who's currently leading at 49. So, which means, Sumesh, thank you for playing. You tried your best, but unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough for the day. So I'll have to ask you to not be a part of the final 2 questions. And also to Anand. Thank you for playing, Anand. Unfortunately, that's about it for the Delhi regional final for you. Missing out today, perhaps not quite his day. And then I think everybody else is okay to play. All right, we'll do this exercise one more time after the next question. Sorry, we'll be doing this exercise one more time after the next question. All right, let's move on. Here is question number 5. 2 questions coming, both for 10 points apiece. Headquarters of an iconic institution in London, which began on the buzzer, is Rohan.
Lloyd's.
I'll complete. Headquarters of an iconic institution in London, which began in a coffee shop a few centuries ago. The inside-out building that you see here consists of 3 main towers and 3 service towers around a rectangular space. The building is an example of radical Baoism architecture in which the services for the building, such as ducts and lifts, are located on the exterior, which is why it's called inside out, to maximize the space inside. Which institution? Rohan, who was second before we started this question, is still second. However, he has come really close. That is indeed correct. That's the answer. It is Lloyd's, the Lloyd's of London. That's a 10er for Rohan. And that keeps the fight alive on that last question. We'll take a look at scores one more time and see where we stand. I'll tell you which are the participants who I will allow to play the last question. At this point, you have to be within 15 points radius of the leader, which means Ravi, I'll have to ask you to not be a part of that last question. You did all you could, but unfortunately, this is all that you could do and couldn't be a part of that last question. And so is the case with our title defender from Delhi, Ayush Avasthi from EY. I'll have to ask you to excuse us for a while, just one question, but we will play for that one spot in the national final from Delhi. It's between Rohan and Jyotish. It's very simple. If Rohan gets it, he qualifies. Jyotish gets it, or Rohan doesn't get it at all, then Jyotish qualifies. That's how simple the equation is. Good luck to both of you. If, however, neither one of them answers, neither Rohit nor Jyotish answers, only then will I allow the remaining four of you to hit the buzzer and, perhaps end on a high for yourself, some consolation points at the end. But I will give priority to both Rohan as well as Jyotish. Here is the final question of the Delhi regional final. Good luck, both of you. Which company that started out as a jelly company in the 1860s connects? Well, there is Rohan who's gone for it on the buzzer.
I'll say this is Campbell Soup. Andy Warhol designed or painted those cans, and it took its colors from the Cornell uniform. So Campbell Soup.
And do you want to figure out how the first image goes into it, if that is correct?
Not sure.
All right. Next on the buzzer, because Jyotish hasn't hit the buzzer, so I'll move on to Ayush. Ayush, what was your answer? Would you like to confirm our suspicion there?
Yeah, I think it can be.
It is indeed Campbell Soup. That is absolutely correct. Very well done there, Rohan. You really had to get that answer, but I'll just complete this question. So the first one is basically a medal seal that you can also see on that Campbell tomato soup packaging, which, it's a seal that they won at the Paris Exposition in 1900. As Rohan identified, that was Andy Warhol who created the 32 Campbell soup cans, which you also see here, the art and the colors that were inspired by Cornell University's colors. So with that, we come to the end of what has been a game befitting the day we are remembering. There was pain and pleasure, suffering, and some surprises and grief, and certainly, as we'll find out when we take a look at the scores, some bit of glory. We will take a break now, but on the other side lies the final scoreboard and our winner. Stay with us.
एक बार आके देख लो, कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे, जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
फ्रेंड्स कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Nice. 10.
Yeah, nice pen. Nice pen.
Parker. It shows.
Change your brand. Grayon. Beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back. The final scoreboard for you at the Delhi Regional Final. The element of surprise there is conspicuous by its absence. In sixth place, coming from Bharat Petroleum, is Sumesh Nair with a score of 6. Very well done, Sumesh, for being here. Unfortunately, not really your day today. Missing out on certain answers that others gave, but you still managed to pass them, and so you miss out. And then in fifth place is in fifth place is Anand Raj from Sale Bokaro. Perhaps another day would have been a better day for him, but not quite today. Then in fourth place is Ravi Handa from An Academy with a score of 22. Gave some fine answers, collected a few negatives along the way, as a result of which he finished fourth. And in third place, defending champion from Delhi, unfortunately not to be able to repeat his win from last time, is Ayush Avasti from EY. Very well done. Nevertheless, you finished third with a score of 26. And then in second place, he was leading when we checked the scores before we began the final round. He gave himself a strong chance by giving an answer in the final round as well. But unfortunately, towards the end, he missed out, and which meant Jyotish Kalita from the government of Assam finishes second with a score of 49. And our winner, armed with preparation, he was armed with determination. He gave those final two answers, and as a result of which he finishes with 51 points, is Rohan Khanna from Barclays. Congratulations, Rohan. Come from behind victory, a victory deserving of every superlative in the book. Played his part very, very well. Hardly anything really to point fingers at. And of course, commiserations to the rest of you. Well, when it's not really going your way, it really isn't going your way. Finally, a big thank you to all our sponsors. The title sponsor, Union Bank of India. It's powered by Manage Engine. The writing instruments partner, Parker Pen by Luxor Group, and our associate sponsor, Grey Arm. The storied history of BusinessLine Cerebration 2022 wraps another chapter, but the story will continue later today. Until then, goodbye.
एक बार आके देख लो, कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे, जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
फ्रेंड्स कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Nice. 10.
Yeah, nice pen. Nice pen.
Wow. Parker. It shows.
It's time to change your brand. Brainiacs, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
लग ही नहीं रहा अपनी शादी हो गई
है ना?
यार
मैं देता हूँ।
अरे
मैंने वैसे भी वचन दिया है, तुम्हारी सारी खुशियाँ शेयर करूंगा। थैंक यू। वेलकम। ये क्यों?
मैंने भी तो वचन दिया है, तुम्हारे सारे गम शेयर करूंगी।
गम?
मेरे खर्चे।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
एक बार आके देख लो, कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
फ्रेंड्स कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Nice. 10.
Yeah, nice pen. Nice pen.
Parker. It shows.
It's time to change your brand. Brainiacs, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
लग ही नहीं रहा अपनी शादी हो गई
है ना?
यार
मैं देता हूँ।
अरे
मैंने वैसे भी वचन दिया है, तुम्हारी सारी खुशियाँ शेयर करूंगा। थैंक यू। वेलकम। ये क्यों?
मैंने भी तो वचन दिया है, तुम्हारे सारे गम शेयर करूंगी।
गम?
मेरे खर्चे।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।